let's finish up this lesson by taking a look at an example of a word problem that you could have to deal with. So what you may see, and this is just a basic evaluation of a word problem, but you need to kind of understand the parts, and you need to understand what your answer should look like. And there are a few little things in here that are not so straightforward that you need to be familiar with. So let's take a look at what we're given. It says retail space in shopping centers in the United States from 1972 to 1996, and so that's probably going to be some very important information. Can be modeled by the given function. You can see we have a polynomial function, third degree, with an s and a t. So we really need to be familiar with what the s and the t is representing, because they're going to have to give us some s, they're probably going to have to give us a t, or they're going to have to give us some information on what to find. And so it says S is the amount of retail space in millions of square feet, which means that whatever our answer is really implying that we've got this many zeros on the back end of it to imply millions of square feet. And T is the number of years since 1972, and that's another very, very important situation. So whatever year we're given, we don't want to put it in terms of the year, but we want to subtract that from 1972, or subtract 1972 from that year, so that we can get T in terms of years, not the actual year. So a couple of things going on here. Now keep in mind, if we get an answer for the S, the retail space, that is 1.0, what that's really telling us is that we have 1 million square feet of retail space. Conversely, if we got something that was like 20.2, that would tell us that we're 20 million and then 200,000 square feet. And so that 0.2 is starting those 6 spaces for the zeros. And so just to kind of give you a sense of what your answer might look like. So it says, how much retail space was there in 1990? Well, we're going to take the 1990, and we need to know how many years that was since 1972. And that's going to give us a value of 18. This is what our T is represented by. T is equal to 18 years. And so we're going to use that as our input value into this function so that we can figure out our S, which is our retail space. And so we're going to say S of 18 years, and then of course we're just going to fill in the rest of this and make sure you get the decimal places and the zeros correct. And then of course for T, we're going to put that in parentheses, and of course that's going to be 18. And so then we have negative 0.27 T squared. Again, 18's going in for the T, plus 150 T, and again I'm using parentheses all the way through just to stay consistent, and then plus 1700. Now that we have this long polynomial, what I want you to get in the habit of doing is just punching this straight into your calculator. If you're having trouble getting the correct answer doing this in one entry line, do it piece at a time, make sure you get the right answer. But practice this and make sure that you can do this correctly before you try to do it on the test. So S of 18 is going to equal to 4272.86. And remember, this is in millions of square feet, so really we have six zeros that we need to add on to here. But keep in mind, this 86 after the decimal place is really already representing 2 of those zeros. So this is going to be 4272.860.000. I'll put commas every 3 spots. And so that's how many square feet of retail space there was in the United States in 1990. So this is a good example of how we could use an application problem to have to evaluate polynomial functions. A little bit more going on than your normal plugging in values, but you have the skills to do this.